welcome to the channel. I'm Divya Biano. I work as a software developer in Glance. I have been associated with Newton School from the past few months as a mentor. Newton School is a platform which prepares you for a career in tech. It has courses designed for students, working professionals, and also with women with no tech background. Newton School first trains you for a full 6 months and helps you in becoming amazing full stack developers. It has a network of more than 300 companies. So once the training is complete, Newton School also ensures that you get placed in some of the best companies in the country. And the best part about this program is that this is a pay after placement program, which means that you don't have to pay Newton School until and unless you get placed in a company with a minimum of 5 lakh C2C. Launchpad is another such initiative taken by Newton School. It is for people who want to learn coding from scratch and also learn the basics of different programming languages for absolutely free of cost. This video is also available in the Launchpad section of Newton School, where you can practice different assignments and quizzes related to the course. Please do check out the Launchpad section. I will share the link with you in the description box. Now let's get started with the lesson. So in today's video, we are going to discuss a problem, pair with a given sum. So the problem statement reads, given an integer array and a number s, check for a pair in array with sum as s. If such a pair exists, returns true, else return false. So example that we have been given is the array is 1, 2, 3, 7 and 5 and the sum is 12. So what it essentially says is that we need to find two elements in that array such that the sum of it becomes equal to s. So now, as already mentioned in the problem statement, our input is array of integers and our output is actually a boolean. So your input also has a number s and our output is a boolean, which will basically tell us whether there are two integers in that particular array whose sum becomes equal to s or not. So the first approach that is coming to my mind is just go through all the combinations and all the pairs of this particular array and just check if the sum is equal to s or not. So basically that is for I, that is from 1 to n, to j, that is from I plus 1 to n, if array of I plus array of j equals to s, then we will return true. If at the end of both the loops, if we still do not come across a pair with whose sum is equals to s, then at the end we'll just return false because this particular array does not contain such a combination. The time complexity of this particular array, this particular approach is order of n into order of n, basically order of n square. So it's a square time complexity. Now, another approach that actually comes in my mind is, what if we sort the array? Like suppose the given array was 1, 2, 3, 7, 5. What if we sorted using maybe merge sort, heap sort, in order of n log n? If we sort it and we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 and try to find a pair using the two pointer approach. Now what is a two pointer approach? Basically it is to have two pointers, basically a start and an end, and based on the sum of it and based on our particular conditions, iterate through the whole array in an optimized way. Basically what we need to do is, suppose we have a start and an end. So what we are going to do in first is we are going to iterate till our start is less than equals to end. Okay, actually our start is less than end, because if start is equals to end, that means we are at this one position only. Like if suppose end is here, right? So that means we are at only one position. So if it's sum like 1 plus 1 equals to 2, in that particular case we don't have to return true because we need exactly two elements. So that is why start less than equals to start less than end. So now the condition that we are going to first check is we are going to take a sum, and that will be array of start plus array of end. Now if this sum is equals to s, that means like if we have the start at 0 and end at n minus 1. If the start is equals to s, that means we already have a combination whose sum is equals to s, so we'll return true. Now there are other two conditions that we need to actually check. So suppose if sum is less than s, what does it tell us is that if we take the integer that is at start, there is no possibility, like if there is no other number with that particular start whose sum will equals to s. Why? Because we have sorted the array and now our end is at the highest number and our start is at the smallest number. So now if our smallest plus highest number sum is less than s, that means we cannot include the smallest number in our particular in our particular pair that we are going to find, because if the largest number is not able to make the sum equals to s with the smallest number, then there is no other possibility. So in that particular case, what we can do is, if our sum is less than s, we just need to increase our start and go to the next to the next smallest number. Maybe that number with the highest number can make sum equals to s. Now there is a third condition, which is if our sum is greater than s. Now if our sum is greater than s, what does that tell us about the end index? That means the largest number, even with the combination of the smallest number, is also greater than s. That means there is no possibility in this array, because this is sorted, there is no possibility that with the largest number we can have an element and make the sum equals to s, because even the smallest number with the largest number is making the sum greater than s. So we'll just do end minus minus and go to the second largest element. So this is the whole approach. Now since suppose if it was less than s and we remove the smallest one, so now we have a little smaller subarray. Now we have smallest and largest based on that subarray, and we can do the same comparisons like we did here, and this is how we are going to tweak with our two pointer approaches, and we are going to reach to the optimal pair. Now while we are doing the start and less, now as you can see, they can never overlap. They are going on a linear time, like start and end, and they will maximum to maximum that can happen is that start will go till the end, and then start is less than end. So it is a linear traversal. So this particular algorithm is actually order of n, but we used sorting for this. So our time complexity will be order of n plus order of n log n, which equals to order of n log n. So we can do this particular problem in order of n log n as well, using another approach. Now there is another approach that is coming to my mind, but that will take some retention, like we need to store certain values. Now with this approach, what we need is we need to retain the elements that we have actually iterated through. So we can use a hash set, and as soon as an element comes, we can actually insert that element in a hash set. Now how to find a particular pair? So suppose if at a point wherein we have inserted, say suppose 1, 2, 3, 7, the moment we come across 5 or any element, like all of them, so when we need 12, right, the sum to be, so we have one element that is 5, so we know that we need to have an element 7. If we have an element 7 already in the hash set, that means that we do have a pair, because 5 is what we are iterating over right now and 7 is in the hash set. That means it is present in the array list, in the array. So that is how we can come to know that yes, their pair exists. So for that, what we need to do is we just need a hash set, okay, and we need to iterate through the whole array. Now we need to add in that hash set the element that is coming, and we just need to see if this hash set has s minus array of I. If it has s minus array of I, we return true. That means because we came across a particular element which has its pair already in the hash set, and we can put this actually in the else statement, because we don't need to add it if we can already find the array. So we will just put this in the else condition, And at the end of this traversal, if we do not come across such pair, that means we have iterated through the whole array, we have checked for each, and we couldn't find a pair which had s minus array I. We couldn't find a pair which sums was equal to s. So we will return false. Now why this particular problem works is, you might say that that particular element which was supposed to be a pair did not was at the end or was after this particular iterated value, so we couldn't find it. But that is what happens, right? In this particular example 1 2 3 7 5, when we came at 7, we checked that is 5 there in the hash set. It said no, it is not there, so we just inserted 7 there. But as soon as we come across a second pair, so out of the two elements in a pair, one of them definitely would have been inserted before. Whichever one came first would have been inserted first. So at the second, like when we come across the second element, we would obviously find its pair, okay, in the hash set. And so when we come across 5, we see that 7 is there, and hence it was not necessary that it did not give us a wrong answer when we checked at 7 that 5 is there or not. It's just that it at that point of time 5 was not in the system, and hence it just went on. It did not return false or anything. We just went ahead with the loop and checked. So this is how we did this. So these are the different approaches for this particular problem. This problem has been asked in companies like Amazon and Arcesium. So now let's get started with the coding. So for this particular question, we're going to do both the approaches 2 and 3, that is using hash set and doing through this using sorting. So first we'll do this by sorting. So for what we need is, we need to sort our array, and then we need to have a start and an end pointer. Our end pointer will actually be at the end of the array. Now we'll put a while condition as I mentioned, and first we'll take the sum. Now first we'll take the happy scenario, which is if sum is equals to s. We'll return true here because we have found a pair whose sum is equals to s. Now as we mentioned, if sum is less than s, that means we cannot find an element, a pair with the smallest element, that is the start. So we'll increase our start. Now same, if our sum is greater than s, we can't find an element with the largest element, so we'll just do n minus minus. And at the end of this while loop, after this while loop, if we were not able to find any element pair, that means we this array did not have a pair whose sum is equals to s, so we'll return false. So our code is completed. So now we are going to go for a custom like a run case, a custom input. So taking 5 elements array and having the sum 12 as we discussed, and the array 1 2 3 7 and 5, let's see if this particular approach is able to give us the answer in this particular case, which is true. So as you see, the output is true. Now we like to change our sum. Say suppose we do our sum as 15. Now you know there is no two elements whose sum is equal to 15. So now let's try this. It should give us false. Yes. Now let's try with, say, maybe 2. Okay. Now you know there are no elements whose sum is equals to 2. We are going to do one more test, which is with 3. Now we know 1 and 2 equals to 3, so our answer should be true, which it is. So this particular approach is well tested. Now I would like to like you to find more such corner cases, okay, for this particular problem. Now we'll go ahead with the second approach, which was to use hash set and do this question in linear time. And what we are going to do is we are going to have a hash set. Okay, and we are going to iterate through the whole array. And what we are going to do is we are going to check two things. There are only two conditions. One, this particular array is reverse for this particular sum, that is the companion, the pair of this particular element is present in the hash set. In that case, we like maybe in case of 7 and 5, when sum was 12, so 7's pair is 5. So if it is present in the hash set, we'll return true because we know two elements exist. Else we'll just add 7 for the next elements. If any of them wants to have 7 as a pair, pair element, then they will just check that hash set has it or not. If it has it, it will return true, or else it will go on. Okay, so if HHS contains S minus array of I, okay, then we'll return true because we found the pair. Okay, else what we are going to do is we're just going to add in the hash set array of I. Now in this particular case, you might ask me that if duplicate elements are present, then this particular element will not be added. But if duplicate elements are added, say suppose there were 2 7, so even with 1 7, if somebody wanted a pair, say 5, 5 could go with any 7 and the sum would become 12. So not adding one duplicate will not make a difference here. Okay, and hence that is why we are using hash set here, and we can return after the whole loop if we are not able to find one such pair, like two elements who together can make the sum, so we'll return false. Okay, now we are going to run this. So as we expected the answer to be true in case of 3, now we are going to run all those 4 cases that we ran in the previous code, that is 12. So the answer should be true here because we have a pair 7 and 5. Then we are going to try for 15. Our answer should be false here because we have no such pair whose sum becomes 15, and answer is false here. Now we are going to try for maybe say 4, okay? And our answer should be false because there is no combination here. Oh, actually our answer should be true, I'm sorry, because we have a combination here, that is 1 and 3 whose sum is equals to 4. So let's see for 2 itself. And our answer should be false because there are no such two numbers whose sum is equal to 2, and our answer is false. So I hope you like the explanation and the approaches of this particular problem statement. Do try to code this particular problem statement on the Newton Schools Launchpad, and please do try to find different corner cases and let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much.